My name is Ava. I'm 33 years old. And 3 nights ago, my sister texted me at 11:47 p.m. with a message that made my hands shake so hard I nearly dropped my phone. Send me $7,200 for Maya's Sweet 16. Not, can you help? Not, I'm in a tough spot. Just send me $7,200. Like I was an ATM. Like my entire existence could be reduced to a routing number and a transfer button. She even attached photos. A ballroom with crystal chandeliers. A silver gown that looked like it belonged in a magazine. And a cake, a 3-tiered monstrosity covered in edible gold leaf that cost $700. $700 for cake. I stared at that message for what felt like an hour, but it was probably only 30 seconds. And I felt something inside me snap. Not break. Snap. Like a rope that had been fraying for years finally just gave up. I typed back 2 words. Get a job. 10 minutes later, my dad replied. And I'll never forget what he said because it's burned into my brain like a brand. Pay or get out of this family. That night, I sat on the edge of my bed in the dark, my laptop glowing in front of me like a portal to another life, and I whispered to myself in a voice I didn't even recognize. Cancel everything. By 7:30 the next morning, nothing about my family would ever be the same again. Before I tell you what happened next, please like, subscribe, and drop in the comments where you're watching from, because what I'm about to share isn't just a story about money. It's a story about the moment love stops feeling like love. It's about the moment you realize you've been drowning, and the people who were supposed to save you were the ones holding you underwater. Let me tell you who I am, because I think that matters. I think you need to understand where I came from to understand why this hurts so much. My name is Ava. I'm 33. I'm a nurse at a children's hospital, and I work the night shift 3 times a week. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment that smells like lavender candles and old books. I have a cat named Pepper who sleeps on my chest every night like she's afraid I'll disappear. And I've been single for 4 years because, honestly, I don't have the energy to explain my family to someone new. My life is small, quiet, built on routine and responsibility. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I pay my bills, I call my mom on Sundays, and I try not to think too hard about whether I'm happy or just functioning. I grew up as the oldest, the fixer, the responsible one, while my younger sister, Lydia, was the free spirit, the one who painted murals on her bedroom walls and wore flowers in her hair and cried at commercials. Everyone loved Lydia. She was soft, delicate, the kind of person people wanted to protect. And me? I was the strong one. That's what they called me. Ava's the strong one. Ava can handle it. Ava doesn't need help. But here's the thing about being called strong your whole life. It stops being a compliment and starts being a cage. Because strong just means you're the one who has to carry everything. It means you're the one who doesn't get to fall apart. It means your pain doesn't count because you're supposed to be able to handle it. Lydia always got rescued. Always. She'd call crying at 2 a.m. because she couldn't make rent, and I'd be there. She'd total her car, and I'd co-sign a loan. She'd have a fight with her boyfriend, and I'd drop everything to sit with her while she sobbed into my shoulder. And my parents? They praised her soft heart. They called her sensitive, artistic, misunderstood. Meanwhile, I was just expected to show up, expected to fix things, expected to be okay with being invisible as long as I was useful. But I wasn't strong. I was tired. And strong had become another word for used. Let me paint you a picture of what the last 10 years have looked like. Because this didn't start with a Sweet 16. This started a long, long time ago. Picture this. It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, and my phone is ringing. I'm already awake because I just finished a 12-hour shift, and my feet are screaming, and all I want to do is collapse into bed. But I see Lydia's name on the screen, and my stomach drops because I already know what this is. She's crying. She's always crying. Ava, I don't know what to do. The landlord says if I don't pay by Friday, he's evicting me. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. And I'm sitting there in my scrubs, my hair still in a bun, mascara smudged under my eyes, and I'm thinking, how much? Because that's always the question. Not, are you okay? Not, what happened? Just, how much? 1,500, she whispers. I know it's a lot, but I promise I'll pay you back. I promise. She never pays me back. She's never paid me back. Not once. But I send it anyway, because what else am I supposed to do? Let my sister get evicted? Let her end up on the street? So I transfer the money, and she thanks me through tears, and my parents call the next day to tell me how proud they are that I helped my sister. Proud. Like I had a choice. Or how about this one? It's my 30th birthday. I've planned a small dinner with a few friends, nothing fancy, just pasta and wine and laughter. But at 6 p.m., Lydia calls. Her boyfriend left her. She's devastated. She needs me. Can't Mom come? I ask, and I hate how small my voice sounds. How guilty I already feel for even suggesting it. Mom doesn't get it like you do, Lydia says. Please, Ava. I need you. So I cancel. I tell my friends I'm sorry, something came up, family emergency. And I drive 40 minutes to Lydia's apartment and I sit with her while she sobs and I order pizza and I rub her back and I tell her she's going to be okay. And when I finally get home at midnight, there's a text from my mom. Thank you for being there for your sister. You're such a good person. But no one asked if I was okay. No one asked if I was hurt. No one even remembered it was my birthday. This is the pattern. This has always been the pattern. Lydia has a crisis, I show up. Lydia needs money, I send it. Lydia needs someone to blame, I take it. And my parents stand on the sidelines, cheering her on, telling me how strong I am, how good I am, how lucky Lydia is to have me. And I smile. I nod. I say, of course. That's what family does. But inside, I'm screaming. There was this one time. God, this one still keeps me up at night. Lydia got sick. Really sick. She needed surgery and she didn't have insurance because she'd been working part-time at a coffee shop and kept saying she'd figure it out later. The hospital bill was $8,000. $8,000. I didn't have it. I didn't have anywhere close to that. But I took out a loan. I put it on a credit card with a 19% interest rate. I paid for it because she's my sister, and I couldn't let her suffer. You want to know how she thanked me? She didn't. Not really. She sent a text 2 weeks later that said, "Thanks for helping out." Like I'd given her $20 for gas. Like I hadn't just buried myself in debt for her. And when I tried to bring it up months later, gently, carefully, because God forbid I make Lydia uncomfortable, she got defensive. "I didn't ask you to do that," she said. "You offered." I offered. Like I'd had a choice. Like saying no wouldn't have made me the villain in everyone's eyes. My parents didn't help, by the way. They said they didn't have the money, which is funny because 6 months later they took a 2-week vacation to Europe. But that's different, right? That's for them. They deserve it. They worked hard. But me? I'm supposed to work hard and give it all away. I started keeping track after that. Not because I wanted to throw it in anyone's face, but because I needed to see it. I needed to know I wasn't going crazy. I needed proof that this wasn't normal. So I made a spreadsheet. Every dollar I'd ever sent Lydia. Every emergency. Every, "I'll pay you back, I promise." Every birthday I missed. Every plan I canceled. Every time I put her needs above my own. Rent payments. Car repairs. Credit card debt. Vet bills for her dog. Plane tickets. Concert tickets. A bridesmaid dress for her friend's wedding that she couldn't afford. Groceries. Utilities. A new phone. A laptop. Books. Clothes. Therapy copays. 10 years. $38,950. That's what I've given her. And that's not even counting the time. The emotional labor. The nights I stayed up talking her through breakups and bad days and existential crises while my own life fell apart in silence. $38,000. And I've never asked for it back. I've never even brought it up. Because that's not what family does, right? Family doesn't keep score. Except I was the only one playing by that rule. So when I opened my phone 3 nights ago and saw Lydia's message, I already knew what it was going to be. I could feel it in my bones. That sick, Heavy dread that comes with knowing you're about to be asked for something you don't want to give. But I wasn't prepared for this. Hey, Ava. So I know this is last minute, but Maya's Sweet 16 is in 3 weeks, and we're doing something really special for her. I've attached the details below. The total comes to $7,200, and I was hoping you could cover it since you've always been so generous. I already gave the vendors your number, so they'll reach out directly. Thank you so much. Love you. I read it once, then twice, then a third time, because surely I was misunderstanding something. $7,200 for a 16th birthday party. And she'd already given them my number. Like it was a done deal. Like my money was her money. Like I existed solely to fund her daughter's Instagram-worthy memories. I scrolled through the attachments. A ballroom rental for $2,500. A DJ for $800. A photographer for $1,200. Catering for $1,500. Decorations for $500. And that cake. That ridiculous, over-the-top, gold leaf-covered cake for $700. I felt something crack inside me. Not break. Crack. Like ice splintering under too much weight. My hands were shaking. My vision was blurring. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears, and I realized I was holding my breath. This wasn't an emergency. This wasn't a medical bill or rent or food. This was a party, a luxury, a choice. And she was treating it like it was my responsibility to pay for it. I thought about all the times I'd said yes. All the times I'd swallowed my frustration and opened my wallet and told myself it was worth it because family is worth it. I thought about my own 16th birthday, which I'd spent babysitting Lydia because my parents had gone to a wedding. I thought about every sacrifice I'd made, every plan I'd canceled, every piece of myself I'd given away. And I thought, no, not this time. Not for this. So I typed back. My fingers were trembling so hard I had to retype it 3 times, but I finally sent it. Get a job. 2 words. That's all I said. And the second I hit send, I felt this rush of adrenaline and terror and something that almost felt like freedom. I stared at my phone waiting. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 5 minutes. And then my dad's name lit up the screen. My dad, who I hadn't heard from in 2 months. My dad, who never calls unless Lydia's upset. My dad, who has never once asked me how I'm doing or if I'm okay or if I need anything. The message was short, brutal, efficient. Pay or get out of this family. I read it over and over again until the words stopped making sense. Pay or get out of this family. Pay or get out. Pay or get out. Like love was conditional. Like I was only their daughter if I was useful. Like 33 years of showing up, of sacrificing, of bending over backward to make everyone else happy meant nothing if I dared to say no. I didn't cry. Not at first. I just sat there on the edge of my bed, staring at that message, feeling something inside me go very, very still. And then I opened my laptop. The messages started almost immediately. Lydia first, of course. A long, rambling voice note that started with confusion and ended with anger. Ava, what the hell? Get a job? Are you seriously going to humiliate me like this? Do you know how hard I've worked to plan this party? Do you know what this means to Maya? She's been looking forward to this for months. Months. And you're going to ruin it because what? You're bitter? You're jealous? I don't understand. I thought you loved us. I thought you cared about Maya. How could you do this to her? How could you be so selfish? Selfish. She called me selfish. Me. The person who has given her everything for 10 years. Selfish. Then came the texts, one after another, lighting up my phone like a slot machine. You've changed, Ava. Money has changed you. I can't believe you'd do this to your own niece. What happened to you? What happened to me? Like I was the problem. Like I was the one who'd crossed a line. Then Mom called. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. I declined it. She called a 3rd time, and I finally answered because I knew she wouldn't stop. Ava, sweetheart, what's going on? Her voice was soft, gentle. The way you talk to a scared animal. Lydia is beside herself. She's crying. Maya's heartbroken. Your father, and I just don't understand why you'd say something so cruel. Cruel. That word again. Mom, I said, and my voice sounded strange even to my own ears. Flat.
Detached.
Did Lydia tell you how much she asked for? Well, she said it was for Maya's party, and $7,200, Mom. She asked me for $7,200 for a birthday party, and she gave vendors my number without asking me first. Silence. Then, quietly, I'm sure she just assumed you'd help. You always help. I always help, I repeated.
Yeah.
I do. I always help. Do you know how much I've helped, Mom? Do you actually know? Ava, this isn't about $38,000, I said, and my voice cracked. In 10 years, I've given Lydia $38,000. I've canceled plans. I've missed birthdays. I've put my life on hold over and over and over again. And not once has anyone asked me if I'm okay, if I need help, if I'm struggling. Sweetheart, no one asked you to do that. You didn't have to ask. I was shouting now, tears streaming down my face. You didn't have to ask because you knew I'd do it. You knew I'd say yes because I'm the strong one, right? I'm the responsible one. I'm the one who doesn't need anything because I'm too busy giving everything away. Ava, please calm down. You're being dramatic.
Dramatic.
I was being dramatic. I hung up. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. A long paragraph about family duty and responsibility and disappointment. About how he raised me better than this. About how I was breaking my mother's heart. I didn't read past the first few lines. Then Lydia posted on social media. I wasn't even following her anymore, but a friend sent me a screenshot. Some people change when they start making money. It's sad to watch someone you love become someone you don't recognize. Praying for my family tonight. She didn't say my name. She didn't have to. Everyone knew. The comments were full of support for her. You deserve better. Family should always come first. Money isn't everything. I wanted to scream. I wanted to post my own message, share my spreadsheet, show everyone what the last 10 years had really looked like. But what would that accomplish? It would just make me look petty, vindictive, like I was keeping score. But I was keeping score because no one else was. Because I needed to see it. I needed proof that I wasn't crazy. So I opened my laptop, pulled up my spreadsheet, and I just stared at it. Every line item, every date, every amount. $38,950. 10 years. Countless hours. Endless emotional labor. And it still wasn't enough. I attached the spreadsheet to our family group chat. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely type, but I managed one sentence. I'm not your bank. I'm your daughter. I'm your sister. And I'm tired. I hit send. And then I turned off my phone. For 3 days, I didn't turn my phone back on. I couldn't. I didn't have the strength to face whatever was waiting for me on the other side. I went to work. I took care of my patients. I came home. I fed Pepper. I stared at the ceiling. I cried in the shower. I didn't eat much. I didn't sleep much. I just existed. In this strange, hollow space where nothing felt real. On the 4th day, I finally turned my phone on. 87 messages. 23 missed calls. 14 voicemails. I didn't listen to most of them. I skimmed the texts. Mom, please call me. We need to talk about this. Dad, you've made your point. This has gone far enough. Lydia, I hope you're happy. You've ruined everything. And then, buried in the middle, don't come for Christmas.
That one was from Dad.
I read it 3 times, waiting to feel something.
Pain.
Anger. Sadness. But there was just nothing. Numbness. Because of course, I wasn't welcome at Christmas. Not because I'd done something wrong, but because I'd finally stopped doing something right. Lydia posted again. Another vague message about betrayal and family and learning who people really are. The comments were, again, overwhelmingly supportive of her. No one knew my side. No one cared. But here's the thing, I didn't want them to know. I didn't want to air my family's dirty laundry for the world to see. I didn't want sympathy or validation from strangers. I just wanted it to stop. I wanted to stop feeling like my only value was what I could give. So I sent one last text. To Lydia. Just her. I'll contribute $500 toward Maya's college fund. Not for party. For her future. That's my final offer. Please respect that. I stared at it for a long time before I hit send. Because even that felt like too much. Even that felt like I was giving in, like I was letting them win. But it wasn't about them.
It was about Maya.
She didn't ask for any of this. She didn't ask to be caught in the middle of her mother's entitlement and my exhaustion. And if I could do something, anything to help her build a better future, I wanted to do that. But I was done funding performances. Done paying for appearances. Done being the person everyone leaned on until I collapsed. I sent the message. And then I put my phone on airplane mode, crawled into bed, and whispered into the darkness. Cancel everything. Cancel the guilt. Cancel the obligation. Cancel the version of myself that said yes to everything and no to nothing. Cancel the belief that love has to hurt to be real. Cancel it all. 2 weeks went by. Slowly. Painfully. I kept my phone on airplane mode most of the time. I went to work. I came home. I tried to remember what it felt like to just be, without the constant weight of someone else's crisis on my shoulders. And then one morning, I woke up and saw a text from Lydia. My first instinct was to delete it, but something made me open it. We canceled the ballroom. We're doing a backyard party instead. You were right.
That's all it said.
No apology. No acknowledgement of what she'd put me through. Just, you were right. But attached was a photo. Maya, wearing a simple white dress, holding a homemade cake with 16 candles. She was smiling. Really smiling. Not the forced, Instagram-ready smile. A real one. The kind that reaches your eyes. And for the first time in weeks, I smiled too. That's all she needed. Not a ballroom. Not a $700 cake. Not a spectacle. Just love. Just presence. Just people who cared about her showing up and celebrating her. My parents called a few days later. Both of them. On speakerphone. We owe you an apology, Mom said, and her voice was thick. We didn't realize how much we'd been asking of you. How much you've been carrying. We're sorry. Dad cleared his throat. You're right. You're our daughter. Not our bank. We're sorry. I didn't cry. I thought I would, but I didn't. I just felt tired. Relieved. Sad. All of it at once. Thank you, I said. Because what else do you say? I love you. But I can't keep doing this. I can't keep being the person who fixes everything. I need to be able to say no. And I need you to be okay with that. We understand, Mom said. I wanted to believe her. I did. But I also knew that understanding something and actually changing are two very different things. And I knew that the next time Lydia called with a crisis, the next time someone needed money or time or energy, I'd be tested all over again. But maybe that was okay. Maybe setting boundaries isn't a one-time thing. Maybe it's something you have to do over and over again, every single day, until it becomes a habit. Until people finally understand that no means no. I don't know if my family will ever fully get it. I don't know if Lydia will ever stop seeing me as a resource instead of a person. I don't know if my parents will ever truly understand the weight I've carried. But I know this. I'm not carrying it anymore. Not like that. Not at the expense of my own peace, my own life, my own happiness. Because here's what I've learned. Sometimes love means saying no. Not to hurt them, but to finally heal yourself. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is stop enabling someone else's dysfunction. Sometimes you have to choose yourself, even when it feels selfish, even when it makes you the villain in someone else's story. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is cancel everything, every expectation, every obligation, every version of yourself that was built to please other people, and start fresh. My name is Ava. I'm 33 years old. And I'm learning how to be the person I should have been all along. Someone who gives because she wants to, not because she has to. Someone who says no without guilt. Someone who understands that boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. And you get to decide who walks through them. If you've ever had to choose peace over approval, tell me your story in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want you to know you're not alone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because someone out there needs to hear that no doesn't make you unkind. It makes you free.